There are 3 days that matter most every year in the Dakar. Day 1, the rest day, and today, the final stage. Making it to Buenos Aires means you've done it. You've made it. For most, just getting here is a victory in itself. But for those in the race at the front, it's all about who gets here first. Will KTM's win streak continue? Does the Blue Armada storm the podium again? And which French rally legend gets to brag for a whole year? You're about to find out. This is the final day of Dakar 2017. As Argentina's capital, Buenos Aires is a vibrant city and always has plenty going on. But today, there's something that only happens once a year. Dakar comes to town, and it's here to celebrate. Buenos Aires has played both start and final point host, both equally as exciting, but there's something special about ending in a big city. And these numbers tell the straightforward story of attrition. Not everyone gets to experience the exhilaration of finishing the Dakar. As a reminder, the 39th Dakar Rally began in Paraguay, a country hosting the event for the first time. From there, it was up onto the Bolivian plateau, reaching heights of 16,000 feet, before making a U-turn heading back into Argentina. Total distance, more than 5,400 miles over the past 2 weeks. 2.5 stages were cancelled due to extreme weather. The Peugeot battle was fully on yesterday as overall leader Stefan Peter-Hansel kicked off the stage with nearly a 6-minute lead. But second place, Sebastian Loeb, was in full attack mode. The two began the day with a standard 3-minute gap, which really puts Loeb's charge into perspective. After such a stunning display, the Dakar bit Loeb. A punctured tyre required a change, which cost him over 2 minutes, and small mistakes saw his gap dwindle. He still won the stage, but oh, what might have been. Peter-Hansel was only trying to conserve his lead until Loeb's bad luck made the gap more comfortable. The final stage of Dakar 2017, a short 40-mile special around Rio Cuarto before a long link section to Buenos Aires. This final sprint could be innocuous, or it could be the difference between winning and not. It's a quick sprint past these green fields in the Cordoba region. Loved by the locals, Orlando Terranova finished the rally 6th, amazingly as Mini's top driver. One of Dakar's most consistent competitors is Janil de Villiers. A 3rd place on the final stage secured his top 5 overall. Teammate Nani Roma couldn't match the South African today, but did enough over the last few days to keep 4th overall and finish as the top Toyota. Rounding out the podium for 2017 was former bike champ Cyril Dupre. While the Frenchman couldn't catch his superstar teammates, his performance on 4 wheels has come on leaps and bounds this year. A short dash on the roads meant that Loeb was able to unleash his World Rally skills and recorded his 5th stage win, but it still wasn't enough. Loeb took 5 stage wins, which was half of the stages run this year, while Peter-Hansel took 3 of them. But it was once again the consistency and experience of Monsieur Dakar that prevailed. Peter-Hansel surpassed his 6 Dakar bike wins by taking his 7th today in the cars. Lucky 13 for the Frenchman. For Peugeot, it's a PR dream. A 1-2-3 podium sweep in the Dakar. The French juggernaut has captured the last 2 Dakar after making their return 3 years ago. Toyota will be disappointed they couldn't break up their podium celebration, but take solace in placing ahead of Mini. Here are the top two.
It's not a victory, and I think, but we gave everything. We had a problem in the beginning of the rally, and since that we are fighting hard, trying to close the gap. We did some very good stages, very fast stages. Finally, it was not enough. We had a puncture yesterday that ended the battle, but for the rest, I know we are faster than him on the tracks. He's better in off-road, so we still have to work on the navigation. We took, again, some experience this year compared to last year, and hopefully we will be stronger next year.
Yeah, it's a big emotion today, you know, because this one was not easy to get. This victory was not easy to get. Big fight with Sébastien Loeb with a lot of pressure, and at the end there is only a few minutes of gap. But it's a really great feeling. I'm really happy because, first of all, because the victory, but inside the team the spirit's still really good. And the boss of Peugeot Sport decided to open the race until the end of the race. So it was really cool, but not easy to manage.
Winning the Dakar once is an epic poem. The story of Peter Hansel's career is worthy of the label Odyssey. Monsieur Dakar added to his record number of stage wins this year and has amazingly won in nearly half his starts. While Peter Hansel is congratulated for an unprecedented 13th title in this grueling event, in the same breath the name Philippe Croizon needs to be mentioned. This Dakar rookie is a quadruple amputee who didn't just complete a few stages in this year's edition, but finished the entire rally, clearly facing odds and challenges most of his competitors could not comprehend.
We really gave it everything today. In the last stage, well, I just had to show them. I showed them. I really went all out. A year and a half of preparation. We've just been congratulating ourselves with the team. The rest have gone on to Buenos Aires. That's where the real party will be, because our objective is to reach Buenos Aires. I'm proud. I'm proud of what we've done.
If the Dakar is about doing the impossible and a triumph of human spirit, then indeed Philippe Croizon can also be dubbed Monsieur Dakar. Lots of French pride in the cars this year. French drivers with a famous French mark lock out the podium. Peugeot only lost one stage in the rally as well, when Nasser Al-Attiyah won stage one with his Toyota. Up next, the handlebar heroes of the bikes class. And the star of the show is Sam Sunderland. Can he finish his first Dakar and be the winner? Find out when we come back. Anyone will tell you it's a steep climb to do the Dakar, but when you're a nation's only representative, like USA's Ricky Brabeck was, it takes it to a whole new level.
It gives me a little push to do better. You know, being the only American, I have the speed.
America's Ricky Brabeck experienced something truly special.
I won a stage in Dakar. That's awesome. I don't have any words to say because I've never won a stage. I wanted to do better than last week. Last week was rough for me and rough for the team. With our penalty, you know, as a whole team, we made a mistake. I think we have a good chance still. You know, there's 5 days left of racing, and a lot can happen.
And a lot did happen for the 25-year-old Californian who joined this illustrious list of Americans who have won a stage of the Dakar. But sadly, Ricky didn't get to complete the story, or the rally for that matter. On stage 10, he was badly dehydrated, and that was it, as he explains.
It's a lame rule. I didn't call for a helicopter. I called for water. I wasn't injured. All I wanted was water and to wait for Pedro Bianchi to tow me in. And they took me by helicopter, said it's not safe for me to sit out there. So it's a bummer for me. I can't finish the Dakar, and it's hard.
Especially when he saw the likes of his Honda teammate Juan Barreda carving up the desert. Barreda went on a late race tear, putting together victories on stages 8, 9 and 10. The Spaniard was exciting to watch. On the flip side, rally leader Sam Sunderland kept himself and his KTM in a comfortable groove. He played it right, nothing too fast or flashy. After all, his goal was just to finish, something he'd never achieved before. The final day. One final fling. It was time to go. Yesterday, Adrian van Beveren was given a 1-minute penalty for speeding in the road section. That left the Frenchman 48 seconds shy of Gerard Farrers in third place. His riding reflected his mood and desire in this final stage. He wanted to be on the overall podium. His final time stage completed in 30 minutes and 29 seconds. But Farrers also had the race eyes on. In 9 participations, the Spaniard's best previous finish was 7th overall. But he looked determined to keep hold of this spot on the podium, going 15 seconds quicker than Van Beveren at the first checkpoint. It was a tense wait for Van Beveren at the end of the special stage, trying to work out what Farrers' time would be. And can you believe it? Farrers clocked exactly the same time at 30 minutes 29 seconds. That means the two men share the stage victory, and the Spaniard keeps hold of third place overall. Emotions running high in both camps for very different reasons.
It was a great performance. It's hard to be positive right now, just after the stage, but deep down, I know it was a good performance.
At 37, Portugal's Paulo Gonçalves showed he's still got what it takes, finishing on the stage podium on 5 separate occasions. He's the stabiliser in the Honda team, but yet again leaves the Dakar wondering if it will ever be his turn. And while Honda is calling this a moral victory, the fact is that if the team hadn't have made the mistake and refueled its riders in a prohibited zone, and they didn't get the 1-hour penalty, then you're looking at the fastest rider this year. Give Juan Barreda that hour back, and he is the 2017 champion. In the end, KTM didn't suffer too much in the absence of their defending champion Toby Price, who broke his leg in the first week. Austrian Matthias Walkner rode a controlled final few days to finish 2nd overall. 2nd to his KTM teammate Sam Sunderland. The British rider, who's endured misery in the Dakar in the past, finally completed the rally for the first time and winning it to underscore his skill level. He makes history as the first British winner of the Dakar in any class.
Super. Congratulations. So much. It's good, huh?
Yeah, tough one, huh? Really tough one. Thank you very much.
Satisfied?
Yeah, the emotion is unreal.
Unbelievable.
What a bizarre way to finish, with Van Beveren and Farrers sharing the stage win. But that could sum up this Dakar. The high point for Frenchman Van Beveren, he gave Yamaha its only stage victory this year.
Wow, I feel incredible. I still can't quite believe it. But this victory is for the team, for myself, for everybody that helps me. You know, it's not an individual effort, it's massive team effort, and I'm really grateful for all of them, and really I'm so happy, and I still can't quite believe it, and the emotion is huge.
Sunderland's winning margin a sizable 32 minutes. It was a KTM sweep of the podium and KTM's 16th consecutive win in the bikes. To highlight the enormity of that, the next closest manufacturer has 4 consecutive wins. In Dakar's heavyweight class, it's been a headline bout between Iveco's Deroy and Kamaz pilot Nikolaev. Both are already Dakar champs, but who gets to add another title to their name? We'll find out. The Dakar Rally is one of the greatest adventures anyone could go on. That's why this new adventure seeker wanted to cross it off his list.
My name is Lyndon Poskett. I'm 38 years old and I'm from the UK. I'm a mechanical engineer and I worked in aerospace for 17 years. And now I ride my motorcycle every day.
Let's go racing Dakar, baby!
I had an accident which set me in hospital for some time. Well, I just reevaluated life a little bit and decided that I wanted to sell a few things, like everything, and go traveling around the world. But I didn't want to stop racing. I came up with a project called Races to Places, and I've been riding around the world for 3 years now.
This is my 5th continent, so it's been pretty epic, 150,000 kilometres now.
The Dakar is just the biggest monster of them all, and like it's the ultimate challenge. Kind of got off to a slow start and then got into a rhythm and then had a big crash on day 3 or 4. And then that kind of shook me up a little bit, so I backed off, and in actual fact backing off made me go a little bit faster. While it's made it miserable at times, it's also made it really rewarding as well. If I finish this thing, I'm just going to be blown away with myself. Like, it's all I want. I just want to finish.
Good news for Lyndon today as he made it to the finish and got a customary hug from Dakar Rally director Etienne Levine. It was an emotional day for the Brit. The trucks rolled back to Buenos Aires too. Martin Masic held onto a top 10 overall in his Liaz. He finished 10 minutes behind 9th place Hans Stacey, driving his MAN this year. Teruhito Sugawara came home 8th, and that's his first top 10 overall in 5 years. 7th place class honours belong to Alice Leprez, the top Tatra in the standings. The driver from Belarus, Alexander Vasilevsky, gave Maz a 6th place finish. 2015 winner Arat Mardiev equalled his best stage result this year with 2nd, but will be disappointed with 5th overall. Not disappointing the local fans is Federico Viagra, a 4th overall behind teammate Gerard de Roy.
Yeah, that's racing. Last year we did well in the last week. This year it was not that good. That's racing. So we are still happy with the 3rd place, of course. We worked hard for it the whole year, and we try to do it better next year.
6th place on the stage for Dmitry Sotnikov, but he's one of the Kamaz trucks that slipped by the early leader de Roy and followed home winner Eduard Nikolaev.
We very happy, and happy my team, happy my friend, and dedicate my victory and my team and my family. Thank you so much. In organization, very fantastic rally, very different, very interesting.
The 2013 winner gets the Kamaz team celebration for the 2nd time in his career. The 14th Dakar triumph for Kamaz and their 4th victory in the last 5 years. De Roy and Iveco got in their way last year, and the Dutchman looks set to do it again until the second half when Nikolaev found another gear. Dakar has already delivered a first-time winner in the bikes class and could do the same in the quads. Russia's Sergei Karyakin has a strong lead, but did he keep it? We'll show you next. In the new standalone SSV or side-by-side vehicle class for utility task vehicles, Brazil's Leandro Torres was victorious, making his own piece of Dakar history by being the first to be crowned champion for this class independently. Axel Dutry spent much of the Dakar on the podium and had to settle for 5th place overall. While 2015 champion Rafał Sonik was 4th, but over 5 hours off the pace. Pablo Capetti led the rally after stage 2. The Argentinian will be delighted with this 3rd place finish on home soil. 2014 winner Ignacio Casale pushed until the end, but the Chilean's challenge faded yesterday. In the end, it was all about one man, Sergei Karyakin. The 25-year-old was promoted as one of the favourites and didn't disappoint on his Yamaha. He cruised to an historic victory by over an hour and became the first Russian to win the Dakar in a class other than the trucks.
Understand this. It's like a birth of a child. When it's just born, you don't understand what is it. Same on finish on the Dakar when you win it. You're a winner, but you don't understand it yet.
In the bikes, the past 2 years have crowned first-time winners after a decade of dominance by Comer and Dupre. The quads, too, sees a maiden champ in the talented young Russian, while in stark contrast, veteran legend, the man, Monsieur Dakar, wins again in his 28th Dakar start. The trucks also crown a multi-time winner. Nikolaev will again be moving Moscow with pride. The lure of the Dakar is something only those who have done it can articulate. But the lure for those of us watching is simple enough. It's wild. It's risky. It's a colossal adventure. The sights, the sounds, the scenery, let alone what the competitors have to go through over more than 5,400 miles and 2 weeks. Some may even call it torture. But for the off-road world, this is the ultimate. On behalf of the entire NBC Sports team who has brought you the daily coverage, I'm Lee Diffie saying thanks for taking the Dakar journey with us.